Welcome to Truly Madly Smiley with your host, Lisa, the Smiley Coach. Lisa wrote this podcast because she wants you to grow up knowing you are not alone. She wants to help you feel confident from the inside out and know how truly madly amazing you are.
This podcast is powered by unicorns and rainbow sparkles.
The only show where children can soak up positivity, confidence, love, and encouragement whenever they need it.
Are you ready to get your happy on? Let's go!
Hello, lovely Wildhearts. It's Smiley here. Welcome back to the Truly Madly Smiley podcast. Thank you for being here. I hope you all had a good week and all is well in your world. And today I'm super excited because we've got some very special guests on the show today. We're going to be talking to two wonderful Wildhearts, Mia and her mum, Lisa. So, hello, Mia and Lisa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello.
It's nice to have you here. Do you just both want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Mia and I'm 8, nearly 9.
Hi, Mia. Thank you for being here.
And hi, my name's Lisa. I'm Mia's mum and I'm 43. No, I'm 47.
47. You've lost a few years there, Lisa.
46.
I love that.
You're 46.
I'm 46.
Oh my God, I love that. I'm 40.
Mia knows how old I am.
Oh, I was just about to say I'm 44. And then I'm thinking, am I 45? I'm doing the same as you, Lisa. I'm thinking, it must be a Lisa thing.
You get past 40 and I don't think you count anymore.
All the years.
You count for me, darling, don't
you? All the years and all the days just blend into one. Oh, I love that. Yeah. It's brilliant. So can you tell me how you found my podcast? How did you find me?
They're really inspiring and they help me deal with my feelings more gently.
More gently? Did you have before you listened to the podcast, did your feelings get very big?
Yeah.
Yeah. And which feelings were the hardest ones to deal with, do you think?
Either when I was angry or upset and I couldn't find how to calm myself down.
Yeah. And you know what? It's really interesting because I struggled with that when I was your age. And I was reading something on the internet the other day, which I don't think a lot of mummies and daddies know, let alone children. So I'm going to use the chance to share it with them. That the part of your brain, which is, and you can't see what I'm doing, people on the podcast, because you can't see me, but I'm actually pointing to the middle of my forehead. That's where a part of your brain called your prefrontal cortex is. And that part of your brain is the part that slows down and calms you down when you have big feelings. And that part of your brain is still growing when you're 25 years old. So how old are you? How old are you again, Mia?
8, nearly 9.
Yeah, so you've got a way to go before that part of your brain is fully developed and is able to help you calm down. So the fact that you've been able to go from feeling like your feelings are really big and then being able to calm them down, even though that part of your brain is still growing, is amazing, isn't it? What do you think, Lisa?
I think it's incredible, really, that she's, even at 8, nearly 9, she's got the maturity, really, to be able to absorb some of this stuff from the podcast and really help it, use that to help her in her daily life, really, just become a lot more calm and help her deal with her own feelings and help her deal with me, I think.
But you know what I think as well, and I don't know if you agree with me, Mia, I think that once you understand what's going on in your body, and once you can make sense of it, and once you realise it's not wrong, like I think a lot of children, did you worry about doing it wrong or being naughty or not being allowed to be angry? Yeah, she's nodding her head. Yeah, say yes, Poppet, because they can't see you. You say yes. Yes, she's still nodding, good girl. But a lot, a lot of children worry that that's wrong or that's bad, or that other people will say horrible things about them. And once you understand that that's part of being a human being, that's amazing, isn't it?
I think a lot of the time, I think Mia felt probably a little bit isolated, and I think some of her feelings, I think, listening to the podcast, I think, am I right in saying, Mia, you've realised that you're not the only one to feel that way, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I think that's been a massive thing in listening to the podcast, that Mia's felt like she's got somebody else that understands her and that other children feel the same way. What do you think, Mia?
Yeah. I think that's right. And that's why I try and bring the children together through the energy pod or through the book club and through, bringing them together online, because I think once you meet other people that are like you and you realize that, like you say, other people are going through it, it makes it feel a little bit easier to deal with, doesn't it? Like you're not alone with it. You're not the only one. So just a bit of background for the listeners. Lisa found an article that I wrote on a website called A Fine Parent, wasn't it? afineparent.com.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And she just, from that article, came and found the podcast and listened to it. And then, did you buy some Smiley Thought cards at that point? What happened? Can you tell me?
I think we found your website and we started listening to a few of the podcasts. And then from that, I think we listened to some of your free training. I think we had warrior to warrior, and some of your free stuff. Listened to quite a few bits on YouTube, and then we were straight in with the Smiley Thought cards, which we absolutely loved, don't we, Mia?
Yeah.
Have you got a favourite one,
Mia?
Out?
Bad things don't last forever.
That's the one with the sweets on, isn't it?
Or You're Never Alone.
Yeah, the one with the mummy and the little feet close together. That's a love one, isn't it, with the hearts around it? Yeah. So did you say, Lisa, when do you get the Smiley Thought cards out?
Yeah, when do we get them out?
Normally in the morning or sometimes before we go to bed.
Lovely. I find it's good to wake up and have a positive card, isn't it? And then sometimes if you're going to bed and your brain's a bit busy and you're a bit worried and you want to let go of the day, it's nice to have a card it's nice to go to sleep thinking, I'm not alone, isn't it? Because it can be lonely in the dark on your own at night time. Oh, that's lovely. I'll put the link to the warrior to warrior training for parents in the show notes so they can pick that up too if they want to.
Yeah, I think we get a lot out of the Smiley Thought cards when, specifically as well, we've got anything that we're particularly anxious about. If we've got something big that day happening, I know we'll always dive straight into the Smiley Thought cards. We'll get a few out with we in the morning, and it just kind of focuses our mind and helps us feel a bit more positive rather than focusing on the worries of the day and what might make us a little bit anxious. It kind of helps us feel a little bit more positive, doesn't it?
That's good.
We had that the other day, didn't we?
Yeah.
The other day.
I think
we had a big. She had a big day ahead, didn't she? Where we went to a Child of the Year awards, and we were quite nervous about it. And the first thing we did, we got up and we got the Smiley Thought cards out, and it just helped reassure us and just made us a bit more positive when we started the day, didn't it?
And how did your Child of the Year awards go? How was it?
Really good when we were on stage, but it was a bit boring after that.
Oh, so after you'd done your bit, you were like, sigh of relief. And then you were like, oh, can I go home now, please? Did you want it all to be finished? It's the relief, isn't it? I think, you're kind of like, okay, we're done now. I've done my bit. I need it to end. Oh, well done for doing that. And do you think it's true that when you do things like that, every time you go on stage, the scared feelings don't go away? That you can't get rid of them, can you?
No.
No, that's right. But you can control them more, can't you? Like you can help yourself feel more confident, can't you? Yeah. I just want the other children to know that, because lots of children will say to me, oh, I'm scared of the dark. How do I get the scares to go away? Or I'm nervous about my concert. How do I get my nerves to go away? And I say, well, actually, you can't ever get rid of them, because that's just your body doing its job. It's trying to keep you safe, isn't it? Yeah.
I think you realised that, didn't you, when you was nervous about doing it. And I think at one point you actually said you didn't want to do it, but then I think we're thinking about our feelings and we realised that it was your brain trying to keep you safe. And I think it just helped us deal with getting through that worry, didn't it? And we knew that once we'd got through that worry and we were there and we did the performance, then afterwards it wasn't quite as bad as we expected, was it?
Well done. That's amazing. Yeah. And I think when you realise that and then you come out the other side, next time you have to do it again, you go, well, actually, I did it the time before when I did the awards, so I can do it again. I know I can do it. And every time you do it, you just get stronger and stronger. Because I know you won't believe me, but every time I do a podcast or every time I go on Facebook or YouTube, I'm nervous when I do videos. Can you tell?
No, we can't tell, can we?
Mia's pulling her face and sticking her tongue out as if to say, what? But it's true. But I get nervous. I get nervous. So which podcast episode is your favourite, do you think?
I'm not really sure.
Do you
I think it was the soothing sleep sound.
Oh, yeah. Soothing sleep sounds.
Now, is that the one where you go into the forest?
Yeah,
Is it
29.
Number 29. Right, everybody, all the Wildhearts listening, Mia says you need to listen to number 29 because I'm guessing that helps you go to sleep. Is that right, Mia?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Do you always listen to it right to the end or do you drop off to sleep before it finishes?
I normally can't get to sleep, but after I've listened to that, I'll probably drop off maybe 12 minutes later.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? My niece told me the other day that she has to listen to, she's got the bedtime relaxation pack and she listens to Get Your Happy On, which is just me reading out the smiley thought cards. And she says sometimes she has to listen to that twice before she can go off. But the average time, apparently, it takes a human being to fall asleep is 20 minutes. So I think it depends how wired you are when you get into bed, doesn't it? Like, you know, whether it takes you 20 minutes and some nights it might take you 40 and some nights it might take you longer. Quick tip, Wildhearts, if you're listening, if you've been in bed for longer than half an hour and you can't sleep, and all the mums are probably going to go, don't say that, get up and go for a wee, or get up and have a glass of water and then go back to bed and try again, because you almost need to like unplug your brain and get it to start as if it's starting again. Sorry, mums, if you don't want them to get out of bed, you make the rules. It's your house.
I think there's been lots of things we've listened to that's helped Mia be less afraid of the dark as well, haven't they? Like, I think, is it number 2 podcast, the one with the dark night?
Yeah.
I think that's really helped you as well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite didn't like the dark at all, did we? But that's just really helped.
I hate it, but I still don't like it now. But I know that if I just close my eyes and think of maybe the daytime or something, it kind of helps me go to sleep instead of just staying up and staring at the dark.
Yeah, you've got it. That's exactly how you do it. I was always scared of the dark. Even now as a grown-up, I am scared of the dark. There's something about the darkness which has a really horrible energy. Like the energy of the day is like really light, obviously, but it feels different, doesn't it? Whereas the energy of the dark, it feels frightening when you're lying there on your own in the dark, doesn't it?
Yeah, and also, when I can't see my mum and dad, I feel like something's going to happen to them.
There you go, you feel unsafe.
Or like something's going to come through my window when I'm asleep, or because sometimes I leave my window open, but mummy comes to close it before I go to sleep. But when she opens the window, I'm like, oh no, don't do that because something's going to come get me.
Yeah, I think lots of children are worried about that. I know lots of children that are worried about monsters under their bed, people breaking into their houses, not being able to see their mum and dads. I was always scared of a man that I thought lived in the toilet in my bathroom. Don't ask me why. But everyone's got their thing. Everyone's got their thing that they're afraid of. And even grown-ups are scared of things, you know. Everyone's scared of something. So, yeah, I think... I'm
scared that someone's going to go away from me.
Yeah, it's not a nice feeling.
Or someone's going to get taken away from me.
Yeah.
I think the relaxation part of the bedtime relaxation pack and the into the forest, all the belly breathing and everything has been super, super helpful, hasn't it, Mia?
Yeah.
Yeah, really helpful. In not just in going to sleep either, but in just dealing with general anxiety. I mean, Mia went to have her ears pierced at the beginning of the holiday. We know we wanted to have it done, but actually sitting there waiting to have it done, we had a bit of a wobble, and the anxiety kind of kicked in. So what did we do?
I snuggled into my blanket and then belly breathed, and I was absolutely fine.
Amazing. See? And you know what? Sometimes when we're under pressure or we feel really worried, we forget about having those tools. We forget that we've got the things to help us. But I guess, Lisa, you kind of prompt her because you're learning with her, so you can prompt her. Yeah.
That's right.
So
yeah,
good.
but just the belly breathing really helped sort of calm you down and yeah, just helped ease the anxiety. And I think that's a huge tool to have for a child. And I think if I keep prompting every now and again, it will become natural for me to do it even when I'm not there. And that's the main thing for me, just to know that Mia can do it herself eventually.
Totally. Do you think they should teach you that at school, Mia?
Pardon?
Do you think they should teach everyone how to belly breathe at school? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, let's say to all the teachers that are listening to the podcast, get the relaxation pack and teach your class how to belly breathe. It'll be helpful for exams, won't it? For homework, for reading out loud in front of the class, for children that can't sit still and can't concentrate. It's amazing. And it's so easy because God gave us lungs and a nose to breathe through and a mouth to breathe out of. It's not hard to do, is it? It's easy. It's easy.
Yeah.
So did you I can't remember if you told me that you bought any of my other packs, my online packs. Did you buy any of the other ones?
So
We bought the back to school confidence pack.
Did you like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, that one, isn't it? I think,
especially on the run up to going back to school, it's certainly going to help. And we've got the back to school podcast still to listen to, haven't we, Mia?
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Still got that one to do yet.
that's
Yeah.
good.
So we had the other packs. We had the bedtime relaxation pack. Mummy's done lots of your free stuff, so we've done the warrior to warrior, yeah, that one.
Warrior to warrior.
We took your Fab Freebies course. We've done lots of the Fab stuff in there. Highly recommend those. And even though they're free, we've really got so much out of those.
That's what I think. I think
recommend
because they're free, people just think, I won't bother. But actually, if you go and download them, and I'll put the link in the show notes, there's so much you can learn. And it's nice to sort of start off gently, isn't it, and ease yourself in, and then you can sort of take it step by step. You don't have to do it all straight away, do you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So we've got a few more on the to-do list, certainly, for sure. But we've certainly got a good grounding so far. And as you say, it hasn't taken much really to give us some of the key skills really that we can sort of already start to use.
And they're really easy, aren't they? They're just, and I think what it is the repetition. The actual things themselves aren't difficult, but you've got to make the effort to do them every day so they become a habit. And that's where we all fall over, myself included, because some days life is just so hectic or things go a bit wonky. And then we go, I haven't done my smiley thought cards today, or I didn't do, it just happens. But if you fall off the wagon, you just have to get back on it again.
Yeah, and I think from my point of view, I've been listening to a lot of your Facebook sort of webcasts. I've been listening to a lot of your stuff on YouTube. And so I'm getting to the point now where I'm hearing your voice in my head, and it is definitely repetition. And I think for a mum, if it's kind of going in for me, it's definitely going to go in for me because I'm sort of then passing it through. So, and plus the podcast, of course, is going directly into the ears, Mia's ears. So
I know,
that's great.
Brainwashing all of the Wildhearts in the world. No, I'm joking. It's my evil plan. No, but it's really true what you say. I have people that I follow on YouTube and podcasts, and I'll often say when I'm talking, like I listen to people when I'm walking along, or I'll have them on in the background while I'm cooking my tea. And actually, when you're relaxed and you're not in a stressed out state, that's when that information goes in. You don't need a notepad to write stuff down. You can if you want to, but you can just absorb it while you're driving in the car or cooking or whatever, not the meditations in the car though, people, but the other stuff. I don't want you falling asleep at the wheel. Yeah. You have so when did you find me? You found me in,
it was February of this year.
February, and we're now in August. So March, April, May, June, July. So six months.
Yeah.
And you're in a very different place.
Yeah. Do you think so, Mia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Quite eagerly saying yes there, yeah.
Yeah, lots of smiles. No, that's really, it's lovely that you are. And you know that whatever happens, you can handle it, can't you?
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, we're in a much better place as certainly as mummy and daughter, aren't we? I think. I mean, mummy was a little bit more shouty, dare I say, Mia?
Yeah.
Mummy's a little bit less shouty, and I think it's just really boosted your confidence, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Honestly, that's so lovely. I would have I think my mum and I could have benefited from something like that when I was younger. Because it is really, it's really stressful being a mum. Kids are just kids. Me, I'm not talking about you like you're not here, but kids do kid-like things. So do grown-ups sometimes. But it's sometimes, there's so many different things to remember and there's so many different hats to wear. And life is very fast-paced nowadays. Much more fast-paced than when we were growing up, Lisa, isn't it? It's quicker.
Yeah, that's right. So many things to do and rushing from one thing to another, aren't we?
Yeah, well, it's really lovely to talk to you about that. And thank you for coming on and sharing your story today. Did you have any questions that you'd like to ask me while you've got me here?
Yeah. What inspired you to write the Stuck in Two Worlds book?
Oh, that's a good question, Poppet. Oh, now let me see. So they always say you should write the book that you haven't read yet, the book that you want to read. And so I thought, there isn't a book out there for Wildheart children. There isn't a book out there for a storybook. There's lots of books on how to manage your anger, how to deal with your worries. There's lots of journals and things that tell you what to do. But there isn't a magical story about a girl who actually overcame her anger and worries. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice to read a story about a girl who actually did that? I just thought, and make it like, I love fairies and woodlands. And so I just made it a magical story.
And also, how long did it take you to write the book?
It took me 30 days. Do you think that's quick or slow?
Quick.
Yeah. I think I've probably been writing it since I was about 8 years old in my head, but my actual typing 70,000 words onto a computer took me 30 days. I just sat down, listened to music, put my earphones in. I didn't have many clients at the time. I think the universe cleared my diary for me. And then I was just able to write it. So it was the right time.
Was it hard for you to start something that was difficult to do already?
Oh, I love your questions. Was it hard for me? Say that again. Can you say it again?
Was it hard for you to start something that was already difficult to do?
Yes. I think it's always hard to be the first person to do something different to what the rest of the world is doing. And you have to have a lot of determination, which Wildhearts have, don't they? You have to have a lot of self-belief and a lot of confidence. And sometimes I will be honest and say that I get very upset that people in the world don't understand where I'm coming from, because to me it just makes perfect sense what I'm trying to teach people. And there's a lot of people in the world who are still asleep and aren't interested in what I've got to say. And because I think that, I know it's really cheesy to say children are the future, but the next generation of children are really important. And I think we're bringing them into a world where they haven't got the tools to cope with it. So it is really hard. It's hard to get people to join in. It's hard to get people to listen. What can you do? You just hope that at the right time, the right people, like you found me, when it's the right time for those people, they will hear me when it's their time to get involved. Does that answer your question? Yeah.
And what do you enjoy most about your job?
Well, I love talking to people like you. I love meeting new people. I love doing all the creative stuff because I love to write. I love to be silly and play. Because when I was a little girl growing up, I was a very responsible little girl. I was the eldest. And I did have play and I did daydream in my imagination, but not as much as I think I could have done. So now it's my time to do that. What else do I love about my job? I love giving people hope. I love the fact that when people are in a really dark place or people feel a bit stuck or feel sad, that I can put a smile back on their face and make the world a bit of a nicer place for them. That's a nice thing to be able to do for someone.
How did you come up with the name Wildheart, and how did you know that you were one?
Oh, well, I always knew I was a bit different. I often thought I was weird. But then I got to know myself a bit better and I realized that actually I just had certain qualities or had personality traits that not everybody had. Like it's unusual to have a sensitive person, but someone who's quite fiery and determined. Because normally when we think about sensitive people, we think about people who are very quiet and timid and frightened, don't we? And then we don't think, and people who are normally determined are normally loud and not very sensitive. And so those two things are like complete opposites. And that's what I say about Wildhearts. Like, there are a lot of contradictions. They're like one thing and yet they're the other. You know, like they're fiery, yet they can be calm and they can listen. You know, they're determined, but they can also be patient and wet. You know, they're just like complete opposites sometimes. And I just thought, what two words? And I thought wild, because that's the spirit. The spirit is wild. And then it all comes from the heart, because those children, those Wildheart children, have really big hearts. I bet you do, don't you? Are you kind-hearted? Yeah. They have massive hearts. They're really sensitive. They live through their hearts. They see the world through their hearts, through their senses. And they have so much love to give the world. So that. It just came to me one day, Wildheart, and I thought, yeah, that's it. I might get some T-shirts printed with I'm a Wildheart on the front.
Can I do it? Can I one?
Yeah, what colour do you think we should we do white ones with what colour writing on the front? What do you think?
I'm not sure.
Rainbow.
Okay.
Oh yeah, rainbow would be good, wouldn't it, Lisa?
Yeah, I like rainbow.
Can you do some for adults as well?
Of course, I can.
Yay!
Getting the merchandise sorted here. It's a marketing meeting. That's so lovely. Any more questions, or are we all good?
I think we're all good, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're all good. Well, I just want to thank you very much for coming on the show today. And it's probably been really interesting for the other Wildhearts to learn about your story. And I'm so glad that you found me. And I'm really impressed with all your hard work. And I want to say well done, give you a big round of applause.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So I'll speak to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So that's all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed that, lovely listener. It's so nice to actually speak in person. I'd love to meet you and chat to you so I can learn more about you and you can ask me questions. If you'd like to come and be a Wildheart in the spotlight, get in touch. My email is lisa@smileyforlife.com. Drop me a line and we'll make that happen for you. I'll pop all the information and links in the show notes for you. You know where they're at on the website, smileyforlife.com/TMS35. That's T for truly, M for madly, and S for smiley. I'll be back real soon with another fabulous episode for you. But until then, I'm sending you lots of smiliness. I'm your biggest cheerleader and I'm always, always on your team. See you soon. Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed that, please tell all your friends.